Hey, welcome back to Market of All Trades. I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. It's a little windy today, but we're here in Michigan. This is the property I got back in 2011. I just wanted to give you guys like a quick deer camp tour. So this is the first time that we're actually camping out on the property that we bought. We usually have a friend next door who owns 80 acres and they have a cabin over there, and usually, you know, the guy who owns it doesn't his wife and family don't use the property during this time. They usually use it during the summertime. So we knew that this year they were going to be using their cabin more to start hunting and things like that. So my wife and I decided to buy a camper, and it's a Four Winds camper, and we got it last year, and it's pretty cool. We got a good deal on it, and we moved it in last fall. So my dad and my mom have been taking care of it, and it's been super nice. We can take a look around it real quick and we'll go from there. So here you can see the outside. Again, it's a Four Winds camper. We have the antenna hookup right there, and then if you look on the outside, there's the antenna. So right now we're running 12 premium channels. You can't get much better than that. Here's our fancy refrigerator. You can't be a Michigander without some Vernors. We have our gas cans right here, and we have that because this is how we power the camper. We have a generator that runs right here. And that powers up the camper. So we'll go inside the camper and we'll take a look. All right, so here's our cozy cabin. We have the TV. That's where we're getting our awesome 12 channels from. This is the kitchen right here in the dining room. I'm sure most of you know that this will turn into a bed. We have the refrigerator right here. We don't really use it because it's a little bit colder outside, and we don't mind just putting ice in our coolers. The microwave and everything works on the generator. My dad was trying an electric heater here for a while just to keep the chill off, but we ended up going with a Mr. Heater down here. And this was our first time trying it. The furnace is actually out on the Four Winds, so we're gonna try this. We weren't sure if it was gonna work, if this Mr. Heater was gonna heat up the whole place, but it's actually really taking the chill off, and you could almost take your sweatshirt off, and it's only been in here for maybe about a half hour. So you can't beat that so far. We'll move on. My dad has built a chuck box right here, and we'll take that out soon, so then we'll have a little bit more room where we keep all the dishes and stuff in there. We have a couch right here, and this pulls out into a bed. So during the day it's a couch, and at night you can use it as a bed. Back here there's a bathroom, and then there's a couple more beds that you can sleep in. But currently we're keeping that closed so that it's not more things to heat. My dad's been working on this property a lot during the summertime, and so has my mom. And we've been working on clear cutting the land a little bit, just so when you bring in your truck, you know, there's room for you to turn around. There's not so many trees around to where, you know, you can't really turn around with the truck and everything else. So we've been working on that. We've just been told by the city that we're able to build a pole barn, and we won't have to pay any taxes on it. So that was the big thing, is we're not up here every day, we're not up here every weekend, so we're trying to go for low budget things that don't really have any long-term effects, like water bill, electric bill, anything like that. So I think the next step is to build a pole barn here, and we won't have to pay any taxes, and we'll keep doing the same thing that we're doing. We can wire the whole pole barn and use it like a house, but we'll still run it off of the generator, or maybe even move up to solar power, so then we're kind of off grid. So those are just the things that we're trying to do with the property, and we're just, you know, just trying to make it our own. So if you guys have any tips or suggestions that you guys do on your property, definitely let us know. We're open for comments for sure.
So when you bought the property and then you had it surveyed, the surveyor came through and he's marking it, and then the people next door here were all in an uproar that the surveyor was on his property, and the surveyor said, no, this is the property next door. And so he was kind of he was madder than a wet cat, because where he thought the property line ended was 20 feet you know, over into our property. And so he wasn't a happy camper. So after the surveyor left, I gave it a couple of days, and I came back and I was just going to talk to him because he had a garden on here. He had
you
some
can
other
see it right
equipment.
here, this trail.
Yeah, this whole area right here, the property line is, you know,
where these stakes are.
Where those stakes are. But he had it all back up in here. And when I told him, hey, I'm here to talk to you about the surveyor and where the property line is, he goes, well, what about it? And I said, well, you know, I just wanted to let you know you've got some of your things on our property. And he went off. You know, he's just saying, oh, it's going to be like that. You want to come over here and tell me all this? I'm like, I'm just coming to inform you. I wasn't planning on, you know, being rude or anything. You didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was. And I'm just telling you, you know, this is it now. And oh, he had a cow. And then he asked me, hey, you going to build? You going to be building up here? And I said, sooner or later. He goes, well, I hope it's later. So he set the tone, and I was like, all right, I'm out. Just get your stuff off our property. And then, you know, he's mumbling and saying, if this property was for sale, I should have bought it. I didn't know it was for sale. Otherwise, I wouldn't have people like you up here. I'm like, whoa, whoa. And that was all within 10 minutes. So, yeah, and then he's trying to say that we have trees that are too close to his barn, but yet he's less than 10 feet from the property line. Code says you got to be 15, and he's less than 10. So I don't know.
You can see his pole barn down there, and you can see where the property line is. Back in 2016, when I was in Korea, I paid for a surveyor to come out and survey the land, and you can kind of see these sticks over here, and that's where my property line is. That same year, we had a logger come through, and he asked for a trade-off. He would keep all the logs, and we would get the land cleared, because that's what we were trying to do. And I'll show you the aftermath of that. So over here are some of the tools that my dad's gotten over the years. This one right here is a wood chipper. This one right here is a mower. There's a compactor in the back. There's another ladder stand right there. Those are actually, they hold up some kind of cable that my dad was telling me, and he was able to find some. I think he got them online, and they're meant for cables, but they actually turn out to be really good tree stand sticks. So here you have a box blade, and then in here in this box, there's really good soil. So we're trying to find a good spot, whether we plant more trees or whatever we do. That soil's locked away right there. We have some scrap wood over here. We try and keep it a little neat, just so it doesn't look junky. But there's some more tools and equipment back over there down the 2-track trail where we kept the tractor at over in the tent. So if you look here, you can see this is why we wanted to clear out this middle space over in here, because with 2 cars here it gets a little tight. So I have my truck here, and then obviously my dad has his truck right here, and then the camper's off to the side. We have a ditch that that's where we're gonna start building a house. but the ditch just didn't work out. We had the logger who came through dig the hole because we were going to put a basement in there, but it just, like I said, it just never panned out. This shed's been on the property since roughly the 1940s, and we've actually thrown up a couple pieces of plywood to blot out the windows and the doors just in case the neighbors have any grandkids or kids that come over onto the property by accident. We also can't live in it because it has raccoons and other rodents inside of it, and it's probably not the best option. So if you look over to the right a little bit, you can see that my dad's standing in the old driveway, and you can see how close it is to the road. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll leave you with some pics from our previous deer seasons and the deer that we've harvested. Again, thanks for checking out the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.